All right. All right, testing. Fantastic. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Race Spec Global Series, Season 3 of Race Spec. This is Global Tier 2. I am Bodhod and I'll be commentating this evening. Again, filling in for the empty spot of commentator for this tier, so I don't think we had a stream last week, but it's good that we can get one up this week for all of yous. So yes, I'm happy to be here and I'm looking forward to what's probably going to be a pretty wild race actually for Baku. Always tends to throw up a few interesting results, a couple of interesting races, just it being so fast but also so confined and enclosed with walls and danger. So it's going to be an adventure of a race, but I'm looking forward to see what these guys can do, as we got a couple of guys just starting laps now at the start of qualifying. Most people on the softs, a couple of mediums as well. We'll stay on board with V Camos as he takes us around a lap of the track. Lots of 90-degree corners, particularly in the first sector and a half, so lots of kind of straight braking zones and predictable turning. You want to carry as much mid-corner speed through all of these though, because that's really where the lap time is going to be. Hard braking for turn 3, potential overtaking spot, little DRS zone there. So you might see a couple of dives into there, but you don't want to run wide or put yourself on the wall. Turn 4 right-hander, another kind of mid-speed second, third gear. When the line set up for turn 5, which is a long-ish left-hander, and then a sharp curve for turn 6. You don't want to take too much of that, because EV's kind of actually misses a lot of that. But yeah, if you take that curve, you can just go shooting straight on into the wall. Turn 7, funny little braking zone, but leading into the trickiest section on the track and one of the most narrow sections on the track. You can barely see the entry there. You see V Camos takes it very, very cautiously. Castle section makes up, I think, 4 or 5 corners of the track. Really want to maximise your exit here because it is a bit of a straight. Around flat out corner where Ericsson hit us. Sorry, I just had to sort something out there. Through the top left hander, probably a bit of an underrated corner, actually quite difficult. And then to the final real corner, which is probably one of the most important because it leads you up to this long straight, which is one of the longest straights actually in the calendar, and probably the most likely overtaking zone. DRS will hit about halfway down the straight, and we'll see if the FE moves into turn 1, I think. But that's a lap of Baku. We'll see how Camos does in terms of lap time. I don't think it will be top, no, it's about a second and a half off Candy Cane. So that will be P2 for Camos with just the 2 guys setting laps so far. But yeah, it's a fairly long lap, 140s. Might see a couple of 39s as the session goes on. Yeah, quite a chaotic lap at times. You really want to carry as much speed as you can, but there's so little margin for error. We'll probably see a couple of damaged front wings during the race. So it is going to be a challenging one as Rogue Flash does hit the 39s. So 39.5, I wonder if we'll see any 38s as the session goes on, as I think Gold Gloves just invalidated on the exit of the corner there, so that track map is red, indicating an invalidation. We'll jump on board with his teammate Shumatara coming across the line, goes P5. It's a good result there for Alfa Romeo. We'll jump down to, we've got the lap down here, we've got Lunacy's about to come to the line on the medium tyres, so we'll see where he can put himself. One of the quickest guys in this tier, kind of contending for race wins in top 3s, top 5, put himself P6 on mediums. That's a fantastic lap actually. The softs will be at least a second quicker than the mediums just because there's so many corners, so many traction zones. So Lunacy's looking like he's got plenty of pace, which is good for the Mercedes driver. His teammate Red Flash currently sitting top as well, so Mercedes looking pretty at the moment. We'll jump aboard with Charlesy, who's coming across the line in a couple of moments on the soft tyre. DRS open, and it's just flooring it. Have a cup of coffee if you want before we get to the line. He'll put himself P6 just ahead of Lunacy, so 40.8 So both McLarens in the top 6 for now. Field of 16 drivers, so not a full grid, but decent enough sized grid. We've had a few fairly low grids in terms of numbers in the last few weeks, so 16 is not a bad effort actually. I'm happy with that. As we jump board with the Red Bull down here, Christoph Reck got a little bit of traffic here. I think he might have just started the lap, unless he's invalidated his first one, but we'll stay on board. I think he's on a quick one. Or actually his ERS is in 0, so he's dropping it through the corners. I'm not sure if that's tactical, or as he puts it in the wall, I wonder if he's got a bit of damage there. I reckon Christoph Reck's just saving a bit of ERS through the corners. He's purple to sector 1, but yeah, I think he's got damage. You can see him understeering there. I think something just flew off. Yeah, he's missing that left end plate, so costly. He's going to have to come into the pits and get a new front wing if he wants to challenge with a competitive time. We might move off and we'll jump onto board with his teammate, who's I think just behind him actually, on the mediums. Cuts a lot of that, and that's going to be invalid. Yeah, you can cut a little bit of that right-hander, but not too much. But as displayed there, the game will penalise you. We'll jump on board with MBT, who's a new name for me. Might be a reserve driver. I think we've got a couple of reserves, possibly. We'll see what he can do. He's done 2 laps of mediums already, so this is lap number 3. He's done a 42.1, which is the lowest set time yet, but we do have 6 drivers who haven't set times. So it's looking like he's just getting an eye in on these medium tyres, and then we'll probably throw on some softs for his final 2 runs. He should be able to get 2 more runs in. But MDT 2016, round the final kind of corner. He's in 0 ERS actually, so this might be an in-lap. I'll have to see what he does. He's going to stay on the track. No, he's going to pull in the pits. Who should we jump on board with? How about Abella Danger in the AlphaTauri? Of course, the last race winner in real F1. We'll have to see if he can replicate that. As he goes very, very deep, or he's brushed the wall there. He might just get away with damage. Without damage there, throws it into the castle section. You can really make up a lot of time here compared to your rails. You see lots of people being cautious to dodge the damage, particularly in the race, but in qualifying, yeah, the bravest are the ones who gets rewarded. So if the drivers are brave enough to throw it in, you can really gain a lot of time. Just that little tight braking zone to go straight on into the wall, that's definitely going to be damage there. Really, really difficult corner there actually. I think it goes a bit under the radar due to the other difficult sections of the track, such as the castle section. It's still purple on the map actually, so he might finish this lap, even though I'm sure he's got damage. Jump off board, we'll have to see if we can spot it on the front wing. Yeah, it's missing an end plate. But yeah, that left-hander, really, really difficult. Again, don't want to take too much curb, you're going straight on, but you can't afford to go deep either because the walls are just too close. But Abella Danger will come across the line, P7 still, even with that damage, so he would have lost time in that last corner there. Probably not so much in that fast left-right because it's so easy flat in these cars with the downforce they've got, but still he's going to have a little bit of time to find, particularly through that last corner onto the straight. I reckon there's a couple of tenths in there. Jump on board with Christoph Reck, he's invalidated his lap. Who have we got on a lap? Goldgloss on a lap, looks like Goldgloss might be. We saw him invalidate his last lap, this one he's still got on, so he should finish the lap. On the soft tyres, I'll put the fitted tyres on, there we go, so it is soft tyres. Just wondering, there's a bit of a clash there, but he'll come across the line. It's going to be a decent time actually. It's going to be pole time, so provisional pole 39.3, so good lap there from Gold Gloves on the soft tyres, so showing good pace. That's very good for Alfa Romeo. We'll put the best tyres back on again so we can see. So Lunacy's still on the mediums, his best time, then MBT and Strauss also their best times on the mediums, where Strauss had a bit of a dodgy lap there. We expect him to be a bit higher up. We'll jump on board with Hold Up Man Down, who's coming through this left-hander here. Takes that not too bad, got Sesto on the left-hand side there, gets out of the way very nicely. Heavy braking, important to get traction out of here, looks like he does fairly well. Don't take too much of that outside curb, he's done that quite well. And flat, misses the left-hander slightly, but that's okay. Probably want to take a bit more of that so you can just minimise the time and distance in track because there's no other braking zones. It's all about being efficient. As he comes up to the line, it will be a P5, 39.6, so good lap there. Quite close at the top there actually, between P2 to 5, all within pretty much a tenth. So what we'd like to see, P6 and 7 almost identical as well. and then kind of a couple of tenths between all the other drivers behind. But it is Gold Gloves currently up by 2 tenths on the rest of the field. So looking good for qualifying. We'll jump on board with Lunacy, because he's probably going to put in a really good lap on the soft tyres now. His best lap being on mediums so far. Takes that really, really nicely. We'll stay on board for this lap because it should be a good one. Takes the castle section quite nicely. Takes that bit nice and slow actually. Probably could carry a little bit more speed in the exit there. That might cost him a tiny bit of time, but probably better to err on the edge of safety on your first soft lap, and then you can really send it on your next one. As he'll go hard braking, just stops it before the wall. That was close. Heavy braking into the final braking zone. It's purple. He's 1.5 seconds up in his best time, so this could be a really good time. He can find a little bit of time out of here compared to his hard, medium tyre run. He should be challenging for the top 3. He just takes it nice and tight. Now it's all about just staying in a straight line and not taking more distance to get to the line than you need to. It will be a P4, so 39.5, almost identical to Ollie in P3. So slots himself into that little 1/10 group. You can see from P2 with Road Flash of 139.523 down to P6, BMAF 139.558. All those guys within less than a tenth, 6 tenths between them. So that's absolutely crazy, particularly with such a long lap. A 1 40-second lap, usually you'd expect with the longer laps you'd have more of a gap between the drivers, but it's awesome to see that they're so close. We'll jump on board with the Shuna Matata. He's on a cooldown, he's on a hot lap. So Hold Up Man Dan might be on a hot lap. No, he's not. He's running out of fuel, I think. Christopher looks like he's on a hot lap. We'll jump on board with the Red Bull driver. A couple of mixed results this season so far, but we'll be hoping for a top 10 at least, if not higher, in this race. A little bit of traffic there, but gets out of the way nicely. Purple to the first sector is 4.5 tenths up actually already, so this could be quite a good time. Already looking into those 39s. His best lap is on the soft, so he's absolutely aced that first sector compared to his previous best, which is what we like to see. Really nice through the castle section, takes a lot more speed, which is good. At least from this camera angle, looks like he's always run a bit wide on the exit, still keeps that lap. The gain can pin you for track extensions there sometimes, but it's good that it hasn't. But up to this tight right left-hander there, just brushes the wall, might have gotten away with damage for that. You can kind of kiss that wall a little bit, as long as it doesn't wreck your wing. 7.5 tenths up, so this is going to be a pretty good time. He's going to be right in that top 3 to 7 mix. It's a major improvement there, which is good. Down the big long straight. Wait to flick open the DRS at the perfect time. Looks like he's done that fairly well. And he will come across the line. It'll be a 7/10 improvement, but still is P8, so you can see how close the times are. He's only 11 thousandths of a second behind Hold Up Man Dan, so that's incredibly close. And he's only a tenth off Rogue Flash. So if any of P8 to P2 can find 1/10, 2 tenths in their time, then that's going to put them on the front row, which is absolutely crazy. So Christoph Reck, he only needs 1.5 tenths to put in P2 from P8. So it's awesome to see how close these guys are. I think it's going to make for a really interesting race. I'll jump aboard with Charlesy. He's invalidated, so we might come back to him. MBT isn't pushing. Who else is on a lap? I don't think anyone else is really on a lap. Got a lot of guys on out laps ready to push it for their final run. I reckon we should jump on board. Who's at the front of this train? I reckon we'll jump on board with BMAC because he's kind of at the front of the last lap setters, or the first of the last run guys. Had a pretty decent season so far, BMAC. Haven't got the standings in front of me, but I think he's been in the top 5 for most races that I've seen while filling in commentary for this tier. So got plenty of pace, and he'll be hoping for more of the same. As he's coming around the second corner, DRS open, we'll jump on board for a couple of corners just to see what kind of lines he takes. Heavy braking just after the 100-meter board, maybe on it if you're not so confident. Takes that quite nicely. Try and get this nice and hooked up. It's quite a long sector actually, the first sector. Lots and lots of corners. 10th up. So because that field is so close there, a 10th up will put him on the front row as it stands, but he's still got to ace the rest of the lap, and arguably the most difficult bit. Does that quite nicely. Lap cannon's good. Christoph Rex retired. I think that's just in the pit lane. I don't think it's on track. Doesn't have time to come back on the track, and someone spun it there. I think that was Abella. Luckily not on the racing line, so it's not going to be a major distraction. A couple other guys retiring in the pit lane. Got a bit of a cluster of cars behind BMAC actually, so we might have to go check that out at the end of this lap. We've got a lot of guys kind of sorting themselves out, trying to get ready for their hot lap, as BMAC is 4 tenths up, so it's been a really strong middle sector here. Now it's just about finishing off. If he can hang on to this, and it will be pole, so we'll have to stay with him and see if he can put himself onto that front row at least, if not in first position. Unless he's had a shocker over the last corner, he should be on pole. Let's come up to the line. It will be pole with a 39.1, so 2 tenths up on gold gloves, as Charlesy's been disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location. I wonder where that is. I think that's straight ahead there. Yeah, it is, in front of his teammate, so that's interesting. Looks like he might have gone straight on and not gone. The car turned around in time. So that's disappointing for Charlesy. He'll have to start last now. Who's in this little cluster here? Looks like Ollie is, I think he's just starting a lap. We might stay with him. No, he's gonna, I'm not sure why he's not pushing on with his lap. He's maybe run out of fuel. He might have just finished the lap and not improved. So it looks like Ollie is done for qualifying. John on board with Rogue Flash, or is Candy Cane ahead? Candy Cane's done as well. Rogue Flash will stay on board with in the Mercedes driver. He should be pushing. He's in 0RS as well, so maybe he's not pushing. Lunacy looks like he is pushing, so we'll jump on board with Lunacy. Currently nearly 2 tenths up on his time, so that will put him towards the front row. If not on the front row, if he can hold on to it. So with a couple of guys already finished the session. Oh, he smacks that wall incredibly hard. Might be a bit of damage there, but he's still finished the lap. Still 10.5 up, goes very wide. He's so lucky to have that lap still there, but he'll make the most of it. Push it up towards the line through the fast left, fast right. Now it's all about straight line. Let's see if that damage has hindered his progress towards the front. P2 will be a lot better than P7, particularly around Azerbaijan, where the start will be absolutely nuts. He's going to bail out, so maybe he hasn't validated it. We haven't seen it, but that's disappointing for Lunacy on track for a top 2. Speaking of top 2, Hold Up Man Dan managed to get himself up there. Lunacy retires, obviously quite frustrated. So he'll start in P7 at best. Looks like Strauss is done. Sesto will come across the line. He's up on his time. He'll go to P10, so in the top 10. Starting 11th might not be the worst thing. So Strauss might be too disappointed with dropping out, but Sesto will get himself in the top 10, and I think that will do us. I think everyone else. No, we've got a couple of guys in here. Ollie's there, Rogue Flash is there, Candy Cane. I'm not sure if Candy Cane's pushing. I don't think he is. We saw him give up before. VMAX in the pit, so I think that will do us. I don't think anyone else is on a lap. Strauss is definitely not. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, no one else is going to improve. So that will be the starting order then. BMAC will take pole position with a great lap, 1:39.1. Just about 1/10 ahead of Hold Up Man Dan, who we didn't manage to see across the line, but solid lap there from Hold Up Man Dan in the Haas. Gold Gloves will take P3 with Candy Cane right behind, and then incredibly close times. Look at that, we've got a 39.523, 39.527 and a 39.530 for P4 for P567. Ashima Tada also only 200s behind that with 39.552. And then Christoph Reck and Sesto round out the top 10. All those guys setting their times on the soft tyre. So great to see such competitiveness in that mid pack, and it's going to make for a crazy race. We've got Strauss, Abella, MBT, V Camel swapping Mortimer, and Charlesy will take positions 11 to 16. As it looks like we're just about ready to get going for. I wonder if the game is loading us in now. Usually it gives us the position at the bottom there, but it's not. There we go. Alright, so we've already run through that grid. So P1 and P2 with a 39.1 and 39.2, they're good times. Then we've got 2 tenths back to Gold Gloves, and then fairly close behind him. I'll just capture that whole list. Charlesy got disqualified there for going deep into turn 2 and not getting the car turned around in time. So that's a shame, but yeah, we'll have to see if he can make up a bit more of that. A few more positions during the race. Bobby Mortimer didn't manage to set a time either in the Williams, so both of those guys got a bit of work to do in the race. Of course, anything can really happen, so it's going to be interesting to see how much progress people can make. As it looks nice and dry for the race as well, so at this stage it looks like weather will not play a part. It's going to be 2 secs. Alright, we should be good to go now. If anyone's watching, then give us some predictions in chat. Give me a top 3. I know it's going to be a pretty crazy race. It always is at Baku, so anything can happen. So the wilder the better. And you never know, yeah, really who that top 3 is going to be. So get your guesses in if you'd like. I think it's going to be a fun one, as these guys are selecting the tyres they want to start on. Of course, top 10 can't, but the guys behind can choose the tyres. In terms of strategy, we haven't talked about that yet. Soft to hard is the probably most favoured strategy. You could do a soft, medium, soft, but it's quite hard to overtake except for the straight, so you might be stuck in traffic, which is going to slow you down considerably, so the 2-stop might not be viable. The other option is a soft medium, but you're going to have to deal with some pretty worn tyres. So if you get a safety car or two, the soft medium could work out, but without any of these seasonal safety cars, then it's going to be difficult to pull off a soft medium. So my guess is we'll get a soft hard for most of these guys. We'll chuck on tyre. Interesting, so we've got a... Yeah, very interesting. Only MBT is going to start on the medium tyres. I would have expected a couple of more guys to start on mediums, but obviously they don't really have much faith in them. So you've got Strauss and Novella in P11 and 12 will start on the hards, and then MBT on the mediums in P13, and then Camos, Bobby Mortimer and Charlesy will start on hards as well for P14 through 16. It does surprise me that less of those guys did choose medium tyres. We get the predicted strategy there, so this is what these guys would have seen with Jeff in the pre-race thing. So soft hard looks like it's the preferred one, otherwise a soft medium medium. I think a soft medium soft would be the ideal 2-stop, but looks like not many people are opting to attempt that. I reckon those hard guys will probably try and stick it out and finish the race on softs, and the soft guys will probably jump onto hards unless they can stretch them for mediums. So yeah, no one being incredibly adventurous with the strategy as of yet, but there's still plenty of time, and if we see a couple of safety cars, then that's really going to open the door for some experimentation on the pit wall. As BMX just going to come around the final braking traction zone on the track, warming up the tyres for the start. It is one of the shortest runs in the turn 1, but still you want to have the most grip possible because absolute chaos can happen because it is such a tight turn 1 and turn 2. I think particularly turn 2 we're going to see a fair bit of chaos as people try and sort themselves out. You're going to have to brake a lot earlier than you would normally. As looking at the map, we've got a massive gap I think behind Candy Cane. Between Gold Glops and Candy Cane is a million cars lengths, which is very illegal in F1 in real life, but the game's not really going to ping you here, so yeah, the guys sitting on the grid will be a bit annoyed, probably a bit impatient to get the race underway, but Candy Cane holding them all up behind. Looks like the AI have taken over. It'll be interesting to see MBT's progress. We'll be keeping an eye on that one, being the only guy on medium tyres. He should have the grip over the hard guys for the first probably 5, 6, 7 laps. And if he can get himself up into P11 and stick with the soft guys, then you never know, he could be in for a fantastic race because he'll have the better tyre wear. But we'll jump to the front of the grid for the start of the race because this should be quite wild. We'll take away a couple of the visuals as we get a nice faraway camera shot. There we go, that's a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Relatively short wait. We are underway. It looks like BMAX gotten the best start of the front 2. We've got about 3 wide behind, which is going to be a bit chaotic. Lots and lots of ghosting as they sort themselves out. We got we got a big crash at the back there. That is, I think that was Christopherek and a Mercedes driver. It might have been Rogue Flash or Lunacy. As we've already got a safety car before turn 2, so it is Christopherek has go on to the wall. We just saw a Mercedes kind of shoot across the track trying to dodge something else, and he's collected the Red Bull. But at least he's still in the race, and there is a safety car, so we can catch back up to the pack. But that's going to be one of the quickest safety cars I've ever seen. But yeah, it looks like Bobby Mortimer, yep, he's at the back of the pack, so already a safety car. Bobby Mortimer's got big damage on the left hand side, so he's going to have to pit as well off the hard tyres. We'll probably see him put mediums on, maybe make a second stop and put hards on as well after that. But yeah, that's going to be one of the quickest safety cars I've ever seen. As the leaderboard sorts stuff out, we'll get a quick look at the progress with the field, who's made the most positions, even though people had barely any time to make any positions. So Ollie, Lunacy and Shin Matata have all jumped to one position, courtesy of Rogue Flash losing 3. So it looks like he's made a bit of a mistake there. We've got Abella who's jumped up 3 positions as well. So a good start there for Abella. I think he's on the hard tyres. Where are our tyres? Yep, hard tyres for Abella, so he's made a good start. Sesto staying 10th, Camos making up a couple of positions, Strauss dropping 1. Big loser, of course, is Christoph Reck after being kind of bumped into the wall there. I don't know which Mercedes it was. We'll have to see if either of them have damage, because I'd assume if they hit like that. Yeah, Rogue Flash has big damage on the left hand side, so it looks like it might have been Rogue Flash. Has Lunacy got damage? Lunacy's clean, so it looks like Rogue Flash was the one that collected the Red Bull driver. I think we can kind of put that down to Turn 1 chaos. I just saw a little bit of that incident, and yeah, just a little bit of swerving around there, which is not unusual for lap 1 here, but yeah, safety car will be waiting to pick these guys up. We'll have to see if anyone actually picks on the soft tyre. Hold up, man, Danny's going to pit, so that's somewhat surprising actually. I'm a bit surprised he's done that, because he's going to lose a lot of track position and not really gain that much. Rogue Flash, of course, is going to pit as well off his tyres because he had the wing damage, as with Bobby Mortimer, and of course Christoph Reck will come to the pits as well. As we got, oh, I thought I saw someone stuck in the pit lane entry there, but my eyes are deceiving me. So Christoph Reck will get saved a little bit. I'm really confused about Hold Up Man Down. I have no idea why he would have pit. He's putting in the wall and the exit as well, so I wonder if he's going to pick up some damage. It looks okay. But yeah, that really confuses me, because I don't think there's any point really pitting. He's put on mediums, so he's going to go medium to the end, which, well, I guess it's not the worst thing, because the guys in front will be going soft to hard, so he'll lose out in the first stint, but he'll gain a lot in the second stint. So maybe it's not absolutely shocking, but he's in P13 now, so he's lost all that track position, and with the pace he had in qualifying, he's going to get held up so much behind this traffic here. So yeah, fairly questionable strategy in my opinion, but to see if he can make it work. Yes, if I was Hold Up Man Down, I probably would have stayed out, but it's good to see him taking a chance and doing something different. But yeah, everyone else did stay out, so we'll have to keep an eye on Hold Up Man Down's progress. So he's currently dropped 11 positions off his start because of that pit stop. We'll jump back up the front, because BMAC is going to lead them away. I assume the safety car will probably come in this lap, but it may be next lap, because Christoph Reck is still catching up to the pack. Looks like the safety car is staying out. Usually it will tell us by the sector 2 split, but sometimes it is a little bit later. Christoph Reck's just coming out of the castle section now, so it looks like the safety car will be out for one more lap. And what was that? Bobby Mortimer's DNF'd. What's happened there? He's gone straight on. I just missed that. That is incredibly unusual to see a DNF in the wall under the safety car. His car marker was straight on at that, I think the second last braking zone there. I don't remember what corner it is, that funny little left-hander. But I couldn't see a car there when I flicked to Christoph Reck. So that's a very weird one. Yeah, you only usually see crashes onto the safety car, but it looks like we've got one. He's left the session as well. Obviously you've got to be quite frustrated that his race is finished before it's even started. But yeah, down to 15 runners already, so not ideal there for the Williams driver there. Hopes now rely on Sesto and P8 to make something happen. But yeah, wow, okay. That's a little bit surprising, but it's what it is. We'll flip back onto the tyres, and we'll jump off board for a bit, have a look at these cars. BMAC probably waiting to get going and see if he can stretch the lead to Gold Gloves. It only took a corner and a half to get that safety car out, so this will effectively be the start of the race. It'll be a rolling start. Didn't really get a chance to see any of these guys pace before the safety car came out. So we've got a little bit of cluttering up here as the safety car is going very, very slow through these corners. A lot slower than the F1 cars. I'm sure if Lewis Hamilton was in one of these cars in this session now, he'd be wishing for the safety car to go faster so they can warm the tyres up. Because the last thing you'll want is cold tyres on a safety car restart, because you'll be so vulnerable. Through the castle section, yeah, you see Gold Gloves really having a back up there. A lot of guys behind backing up as well. Lunacy's leaving plenty of space, which I think is very smart. I think the time you lose in getting a 5 second for hitting someone or for getting damage for running into the back of the person in front of you is not worth that, as opposed to being right up behind someone and possibly getting a run, particularly that you're technically not allowed to overtake until the start finish line, which I know a lot of guys kind of do that before and the game won't punish you because of certain glitches, but I think it's safer to leave a bit of a gap, as Lunacy is doing, as the safety car is in this lap. So we'll jump off board and we'll go to the front as BMAC will get us underway. He can't go too early because the safety car needs to get away. You can see he's actually going incredibly fast. He's really not backing up the pack, and the safety car's still in the picture there. So this is going to be a very, very late safety car restart. We'll have to see if he catches anyone now. It looks like he's floored it. The safety car's still on track, so let's hope the game doesn't slow him down. I think the game might have slowed him down a little bit there. We'll see if that causes any calamity. It looks like not, which is a good thing. So he's just done it at the last minute. As we've got lots and lots and lots of two wides here. We've got AlphaTauri's gone very, very wide, come off the track. He's come back on. We've got a bit of argy-bargy here with the Ferrari and the Racing Point. So Racing Point lost out a little bit, losing the back end, but VCAM was managing to get that position up. I think it was MBT lost out there. So we've got a Red Bull round. That's a big crash there. That's Strauss. He's lost the rear there, and double trouble for Red Bull at the start of the race as Strauss is retired on track, which is very naughty. Not allowed to do that, but understandably frustrated. But yeah, not great start for Red Bull there. It's like I'm not sure if he got hit there. It was quite late out of the braking, out of the traction zone, so very weird there. But no VSC or safety car, which is a good thing. We can get this race underway as that BMAC Gold Gloves. Candy Cane's dropped a little bit behind. Strauss has left the session, understandably frustrated. This isn't important now. The top two are starting to bolt already. Candy Cane needs to pick up the pace so he doesn't lose DRS to these guys. You can see Ollie right behind. Candy Cane loses the rear out of the corner there, so that's going to allow Ollie a look. See if he can make the most of it. Lunacy's a little bit further behind. We'll stay on board with Ollie though, because he looks the most likely to make a pass. Candy Cane goes very deep, so Candy Cane's struggling at the start of the race in P3. Quite a prestigious position. But yeah, obviously feeling the heat of Ollie. He actually takes the corner a bit better than Ollie does there. Ollie went a little bit deep. That's going to allow Lunacy right in the back as well. Matata didn't have the best run through that corner. He's lost touch a little bit behind. Sesto's also a second and a half behind, but it is the top two who've gapped Candy Cane already. So we've got yellows. Who's that? Sesto's in the wall. So he's made a mistake there, or made contact, and he's been put in the wall. So that's very, very frustrating for the Williams driver. He's going to drop to the bottom of the grid, and he's probably going to have some big damage there. As he's stuck in 8th gear with overtake on as well, so quite frustrated there. So Candy Cane and Lunacy going side by side as well. Big squeeze there as Lunacy's trying to go around the outside where you can't really, and Candy Cane's going to hang on, but Ollie did manage to get past him down the main straight there, so Ollie's going to now bolt, and Lunacy's going to want to get past Candy Cane as soon as possible, jump off board. Bit of a shocking camera angle. We'll stay on board. It looks like Matata's down the inside now, so Lunacy losing out of position after looking likely to make a position. So Lunacy back down to P6, Matata up in the P5. Now Ollie is released to go and chase after the top two who've already pulled away 2.5 seconds. So good start there from BMAC and Gold Gloves. Obviously got plenty of pace at the start of this race. Look down the field, we've got a bit of scuffling as well. Charles, Rogue Flash and MBT. Actually not quite MBT yet. He's got Christopher right in his back. Stay on board with these guys actually, because this looks like a likely pass. Got a lot of moving around in the braking zones as they're going to put each other in the wall. They've just managed to dodge the wall. I don't know how they've done that. But MBT moving a lot under braking there, which is a bit illegal. But Christoph Rex made the move, which he'll be very happy about. Charles and Camos. So Camos struggling a bit with traction on those hard tyres, as opposed to, actually Charles was on hard tyres too. So Shazzy looking pretty racy at the moment. BKMS maybe struggling a tiny bit, a bit of a lock up there from the Ferrari driver. A bit further up the field, Holtman down on those fresh mediums, of course, pitting out of P2 quite questionably. He's going to get a mega run on Abella, who made a mistake out of that corner there, and they're going to go side by side through this section, which could spell disaster. Bit of lag there, luckily Abella backed out of that one before bad things happened, as Lunacy is going to make it run on Ashina and get the position done as well. Ashina who's out in the pits, he's going to pit already, so Ashina in the pits as with Ollie. So very, very early stops there. You wonder why I wonder why they pit already. If they were going to pit, you'd think they'd pit under the safety car, so maybe Hold Up Man Dan is onto something. As you can see, he's already jumped them up into P5. As we saw Shazi getting out of the way of some people. I wonder if he made a mistake there. He's let B Camos and Rogue Flash through. As we jump on board with Rogue Flash, who's going to have a run. No, Camos gets a good run out of that corner, so he's going to be safe for this straight up least. We jump on board with Lunacy, who's just brushed the wall there. He's got damage, probably not quite. No, his front wing looks just intact. Well, he's sliding around a lot. That's the second time in 2 corners his rear has hit the outside wall there, but looks like he's really starting to push to get up to Candy Cane. Candy Cane's still struggling a lot. 4.5 seconds now to P2 and Gold Glove. So those front two have absolutely bolted, and Lunacy will be aware of that and will want to catch up to them as soon as possible. So Candy Cane looking like he's putting in a banger qualifying lap, but he's in the wall in the castle section. That's going to let Lunacy right through, and Candy Cane's going to have damage. You can see on that front view there, he's got right wing end plate damage. So that's a shame for Candy Cane. He's going to have to come into the pits. Looks like he's going to try and make a move on Lunacy again. No, he can't. There's no point doing that with the damage. Lunacy will get him right back at the next corner. So Candy Cane's going to have to come into the pits as Lunacy once again slides through that corner, obviously not running very much rear downforce on that car. Funny because usually the Mercedes is very stuck on the rear, but Hold Up Man Dan is now right in the back of Candy Cane, who's struggling with that. Looks like Camos and Rogue Flash are having a scuffle as well. We'll have to jump on board with the Haas driver, who looks most likely to make a move. We should see Candy Cane pull into the pits. Let's hope he stays left and Hold Up Man Dan does not go left. Looks like Candy Cane's pulled up, yeah. So Hold Up Man Dan will inherit another position as Lunacy ahead comes into the pits as well, so looking for an undercut. Hold Up Man Dan does the quickest lap of the race on those medium tyres, so those mediums will like the tyre to be on. So maybe Hold Up Man Dan's actually pulled a blinder with the strategy. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to really work with the track position so early in the race, but those mediums, they look really good. They look really, really good. Speaking of, we've seen all these guys come to the pits and look at the variety of tyres. We've got about half of them on hards, half of them on mediums. So really, really, really interesting strategy choice from some of these guys. Christopher will put in the fastest lap as well on the medium tyres. So we've got Lunacy, Ollie and Ashina Matata will all put on the hard tyre, but Candy Cane and Nabella will put on mediums, as did Christopher, Camos as well as Shazi. They put on mediums, so they're going to have to make a second stop. And then MBT and Desto at the back also put on hard tyres to one stop. So a variety of strategy as well. So Lunacy is the leader. No, he's not. Rogue Flash is the leader of the hard tyres, but his tyres are 4 laps older. So Rogue Flash might struggle with tyre wear and might have to make another pit stop. So Lunacy could effectively be the leader of the hard tyre group and possibly the leader of the race, depending on what VMAC and Gold Gloves do. But it's great to see such a variety of strategy now. Some people going 2 stops, some people going 1 stop. So it's going to make for an interesting race as, Lunacy's managed to gap Ollie in the pits. So I wonder if Ollie got a front wing change or something, because I'm not sure why he's so far behind Lunacy, unless he just had a bad outlap. But he's now 3.5 seconds behind, and Ashina Matata is just about a second behind Ollie, who smacks the wall and loses front wing. So Ollie's just coming to the pits for hard tyres and he's already got damage. He's probably going to have to stick it out unless he wants to convert to the medium tyres. So that's a real shame for the Haas driver, as the top 2 BMAC and Gold Gloves do come into the pits now, which puts Hold Up Man Dan into P1, and that is a genuine leader of the race now. Ollie's losing a lot of grip through this fast corners, and we should see Ashina Matata make a move. Will Ollie stay out? Ollie's going to stay out. Yeah, he will stay out. So Ashina Matata will get the move done. As Jeff suggests, the pit window is open now. Ashina Matata runs very deep but gets the position held. Ollie's going to try and fight it still, though. Side by side through this section, very, very easy to get squeezed into the wall, but they've done it fairly cleanly for now. But Ashina Matata will probably get the run. No, he doesn't. Ollie gets the DRS, so it was ahead. Was behind at the right time, so Ollie will stay in front, and Ashina Matata's going to lose a lot of time stuck behind damaged front wing car of Ollie. That's going to allow Lunacy to run away, so Lunacy will be very happy with how those pit stops worked out, because he's managed to jump a couple of these guys and now has the chance to stretch away while Ollie struggles with front wing damage. Behind them, Candy Cane and Abella on the medium tyres. They're probably going to catch up to Ashuna Matata very easily. So Ashuna Matata is already side by side. He's going to go for a dive down here around the outside. Ollie defends the inside. Not usually the place you see side by side racing, but these guys proving otherwise. Both can get through the castle section fairly well, but you can see how much time Ollie is losing to Lunacy. That gap's already up to 6 seconds. So front wing damage is really not helping. He's really taking Ashuna Matata out of the race now. So Ashuna Matata really needs to get this move done as soon as possible. He's just losing so much time. Ollie's getting the traction out of the right corners though. He's not really letting Ashuna Matata have a look, but Ashuna Matata will get DRS out of this corner now, so we should see him make a dive bomb using to overtake, as Ollie's not letting over to overtake, but Ashuna Matata really needs to push now. This is the time to go, as he's gonna fly past him already. Ollie moves to the inside once again, as Ashuna Matata will get the DRS and will make the move. Will Ollie be able to fight it again? Ashuna Matata went deep last time. He's going to learn from his mistake. He breaks a lot earlier. Ollie's going to break late, go a little bit wide. Christopher picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding. But it looks like Ashuna Matata's got that move done. Ollie's got lots of one to steer through there, so he's going to lose out to Ashuna Matata, and that's allowed Candy Cane, that little battle there has allowed Candy Cane to catch back up again. So Candy Cane on the medium tyre is going to have a lot more grip at the moment, but he's going to have to make another stop. It'll be interesting to see, because Candy Cane is definitely in this fight up here. But it'll be interesting to see whether they converge again at the end of the race, of course, after the different strategies start to play out. As you can see how much Ollie's struggling, really understeery there, and Candy Cane just gives him a slight tap in the back that's going to allow Abella to catch back up again. Behind them, Camos and Charlotte are also having a bit of a race here, both of them on medium tyres, so they're both doing a 2-stop as well. So Camos is going to stay in front for the time being. Something else worth noting as well is Camos locks up massively into there. BMAC and Gold Gloves have also split the strategy, so BMAC has gone onto the medium tyres and Gold Gloves on the hards. So BMAC, they set out quite late, so I wonder if BMAC's going to try and stretch them to the end. It's going to be a massive stretch, but we'll have to see what he can do. His Gold Gloves is on the harder tyre. The gap is now 3.2 seconds, so BMAC's made the most of the grip while he's had it, and he's going to gap Gold Gloves continually over the next few laps. But Gold Gloves won't have to stop again, whereas BMAC might, so that's going to be an interesting little fight to keep an eye on. But Holder Mandan is in the lead now, courtesy of a great strategy call in the safety car to come into the pits and put on medium tyres. So he's now reaping the rewards for that. He's probably going to be able to go medium, possibly even medium softly, even make it last. But Holder Mandan is in a genuine P1, so Ollie and Candy Cane are having a bit of a scuffle as well. Candy Cane trying to make a move on Ollie, who does have that front wing damage still. Candy Cane's going to try and get the run out of here. Looks like he lost the rear a tiny bit, but still should have the overspeed. Abella's not quite close enough to make a move. Candy Cane's going to dive down the inside. Ollie moves just for the braking zone, not quite on the brakes, which is a good thing. A little bit of side-to-side contact there, but Candy Cane... Ollie's lost the rear and he's in the wall, so that's even more front wing gone, and that's going to be another pit stop required for Ollie. We just saw him lose the traction, trying to hang on to that position. You can see him struggling so much. He's going to come out right in front of Charlesy, but behind Camos. So Charlesy was trying to hunt down Camos, and now he's going to lose Charlesy time as well. He's going to have to dive. No, he's going to dive down the inside. Ollie's going to have major front wing damage, and Charlesy's just going to get so held up, and that's going to allow disaster. MBT tried to throw it down the inside, and he's also got damage now on the hard tyres. So MBT's probably going to have to make another pit stop and get that car turned around. He's going to drop to just about last as Christoph Reck. Actually, Christoph Reck's still a fair way back, though he's not. So MBT's probably going to drop to last place now. You can see Charlesy was just trying to get past the stricken car of Ollie, and MBT tried to throw the nose in there, and that was never really going to work, so that's a real shame, as he's going to run into the castle section and lose more front wings. So MBT, he's got to be careful not DNF here actually. As Christoph Reck is in the wall as well in the castle section. He's gone straight on, so he's obviously trying to push and just put it in the wall as well, and that's brought out the safety car. So obviously the marshals think there is too much debris on track after all that front wing spread all over the place, and they've decided to call the stewards to bring out a safety car or race control. So it'll be a second safety car. We see Ashuna Matata's going to come in the pits, so he was on the hard tyres. He's decided that he wants to be on the quicker tyre, doesn't want any more of those hards, which is going to be nice and slow. as Christoph Rex lost probably all that front wing. You see how much he's struggling to slow the car down. V. Camus and Charlesy also had just pit, but they're going to pit again, which I think is quite interesting. 3 laps is not very long to be on tyres. Camus put on more mediums, as will Charlesy. Ashumatara did as well. So, Christoph Rex, you're going to have to slow down, buddy, before you DNF into the wall. Just manages to get through there. But a lot of these guys now putting on fresh mediums, which should be able to make it to the end from here. They'll have a bit of tyre wear at the end of the race, but they should be able to make it work. So that means Lunacy in Gold Gloves and Rogue Flash in P5, 4 and 2, they're going to struggle a bit for pace now with the harder tyres as Shunitara picks up a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. So that's a bit sloppy there, and that's going to drop him a few positions, possibly end the race with that 5 seconds. As Christoph Rex going to put on more mediums as well. So almost the entire field on mediums with the exception of those 3 guys I mentioned before, Lunacy and Rogue Flash in the Mercedes, as well as Gold Gloves. As Ashumatara picks up a drive-through for speeding. Has he just picked up 2? I'll have to check the race director on that one. Ashumatara, 2 penalties. So not great there for Ashumatara, obviously impatient to catch up the safety car. He's still got that delta, you can see. Look, 2 drive-throughs now. I'm sorry, a 5-second and a drive-through now. That's not going to help his race. He's going to have to serve that when the safety car comes in. And also in the next pit stop, as the top 3, Gold Gloves picks up a time penalty for cutting. That would be the pit entry, I reckon. Yeah, that's interesting. The top 3, top 4 actually are all going to pit for medium tyres. So the entire field is going to be on the exact same strategy pretty much. Lunacy, I think it's the right thing for these guys to pit, otherwise they're going to be swallowed by the field. Gold Glove pits for mediums as well. Candy Cane and Abella will also pit. I wonder where they're going to come out, because you've got a couple of guys coming down. Ashumatara, he's going to jump a few of them, as he's still got that delta by the looks of things. He's going to jump up to P6. So now the entire field, with the exception of race leader BMAC, has got fresh mediums. So BMAX inherited the lead due to everyone pitting, but his tyres will be 3 laps older. 3 laps isn't massive, probably about 7, 8, 9% wear, but that could play a role at the end of the race when they are a lot more worn, because as the tyres, as they start to wear, you'll start slowing a lot more and start to wear them out even more. So BMAC is in the right track position, which is really important for this game and for Formula 1 in general, but it'll be a matter of whether he has the tyre life at the end of the race to make it work. So it's going to be interesting to see what BMAC can do as you just hit the fastest laps quickly. Christoph Reck currently has that with the 43.1, but we should see that beaten now as everyone is on fresh tyres. Put the gap to leader up for a little bit as well. Most of the field has done 2 stops, of course, to put on those first tyres and then to put on the fresh mediums. The safety car might be out for 1 more lap because the field is quite spread. So we'll jump off board and just admire the cars for a little while as we wait for the safety car to finish the rounds and the rest of the pack to catch up. So if anyone is in stream at the moment and does want to put in a prediction for top 3 now, feel free to. I think it's going to be an interesting finish to the race now that everyone's on the same strategy, so it will be a straight race from up down the field, which is good. We were mentioning how the strategies were a bit different before, and that would make it interesting, but I think this is almost better, having the entire field almost on the same strategy. Because it does mean that the pace and the racecraft, the speed, but also the clean driving, that's whoever can do that the best is going to reap the rewards with the straight race. So I think it's going to be a good restart. We'll put on the positions gained from the start as well. We'll see who the winners are. Rogue, Lunacy, Shimatata have all gained 2 positions, which is good. Gold Gloves has dropped a couple, but has shown plenty of pace for the duration of the race, so we'll expect to see Gold Gloves gain a couple back. Candy Cane's dropped a few as well. Really struggled for that first stint actually, but he's in a position to get some decent points. Abella, Camos and Shazi have also gained a fair few positions from towards the back of the grid. A few guys have really lost out. Ollie, of course, after being in that top 3 fight and then putting it in the wall, getting damage, he's dropped a few positions now, but has a chance to regain some of that momentum again after the safety car restart. Sesto's dropped a couple after a bit of an up and down race. MBT had to replace front wing, and Christoph Reck, of course, with that drama early on as well. He's got a chance to regain some momentum. Kevin texts in the chat, hello my friend. I'll be hoping to see you for the Global Tier 1 race, which is straight after this, so if you guys are tuning into this, make sure to go check out Tier 1 as well. Kevin Texas will probably finish in the bottom 3 as he does every week. Hoping to see Candy Cane pick up his first podium. Would be fantastic to see the Racing Point pick up another podium. The safety car's going to do 1 more lap, which is interesting. I'm still waiting for MBT and Christopher to catch up, so it's a long safety car. These guys will be impatient to get underway again. But yeah, it will be good to see. I mean, it's always good to see new faces up the top. You're always going to have your regular guys up the top, but it's good to see guys who can put together clean races, reap some rewards. So we'll have to watch on board with Candy Cane for a little bit during the rest of the race to see what he can do from P7 in that pink Mercedes. It goes very deep into turn 1 actually. So we'll have to watch his progress up the field. Got a bit of movement down here actually. Ollie and Charlie having a bit of a scuffle. You're not usually meant to race with the safety car, boys, so make sure you keep it clean. Last thing you want is picking up damage for 5 seconds for making contact. Looks like Christoph Reck is in the back. He's on the back of the train, so the safety car will be in this lap and we will be able to race again. These extra laps are probably benefiting BMAC the most because he doesn't have to do as many quick laps on those older tyres, put the tyres back up again. So everyone being on the exact same tyres with the exception of BMAC, who is on slightly older ones. So the longer safety car is benefiting the McLaren driver, but it also gives everyone else another lap of freshness to chase after him, as MBT is nearly in the back of Sesto actually, so impatient to get going. Lots of guys right on the tails of the guys in front. Got to be a bit patient, lads, because you don't want them picking up damage. You see these guys trying to warm up tyres. Probably going to have a fair few cold tyres at the start of the restart. So everyone's gotten through Newcastle section fine, which is good. We'll have to jump back up to the front though, because BMAC will be starting to get ready to lead the pack away. We'll jump off board for a little while. We'll put the intervals up again so we can see who's close to each other on track, as the safety car will round the final braking traction corner. Hopefully for the last time this race, it'll be good to see a straight fight for 12 laps at the end of the race. Safety car comes in this lap. Bert has done a great job leading the field, but it's now BMAC's turn to lead the pack behind the hungry pack on all those fresh new medium tyres, ready to gobble BMAC up. But let's see if BMAC is up to it. BMAC once again fairly fast behind the safety car. Didn't let the safety car really get away last time, and it looks like he's done the same thing this time. He's already floored it, so he's already gone. Safety car's just going to make it back to the pit in time, I think. We'll have to see if BMAC has to slow up. No, he doesn't, so he's timed that pretty much perfectly. As he's got yellows, which is a bit weird. Hodderman Dan's going to look for a move, but not get it done. He's going to force BMAC a little bit deep, as Hodderman Dan does go deep, actually. Rogue Flash and Gold Gloves getting nice and close together. That's a big dive from Hodderman Dan down the inside. He's going to not quite get it done, but BMAC is going to have to defend this next corner because Hodderman Dan's going to be in the slipstream. Rogue Flash isn't quite close enough. He's going to make a big boy dive down the inside. He will, and he's going to go straight on. Always touch the rear tyre a little bit, but they've gotten through that cleanly without damage. Rogue Flash is going to have a chance to look down the inside. BMAC hanging on for now. Gold Gloves right behind, ready to pick up the pieces. Shumatara and Lunacy, I think, switched positions as well. I'm pretty sure Lunacy was up in P5 before that, so Shumatara with a good restart. Gold Gloves is very wide field left-hander there. That might allow his teammate to have a look. So you've got two pairs of teammates up here, the Alfa Romeos and the Mercedes boys, so it's going to be interesting to see how they negotiate each other if they feel they've got different pace. Looks like everyone's gone away fairly clean so far though, everyone getting through the difficult castle section fairly well. So Ollie and Charlesy were having a bit of a scuffle. I think Ollie made that position up too, so Ollie's going to have to really push to get back into the top points where he probably feels like he belongs. Looks like everyone's gotten away cleanly. MBT, that's a bit of a tasty pack. Christoph Reck going around the outside of Sesto at a place you don't usually overtake. He's going to get a little bit of side bumping. I think they've managed to get away without damage though. Christoph Reck will make that move. But he will be exposed down the straight with DRS. We've got yellows. Who's that? Oh, it's Abella. He's gone around again. He's got more damage. So that's going to put him right to the back. And he's probably going to have to pit again. He's going to have end plate damage on both sides. He does, yeah. So really disappointing for the AlphaTauri driver. First driver to really suffer from a mistake. It's Christoph Reck and Sesto going side by side again. Whoa, that's tasty. Geez, Charlesy and Camos giving each other barely any room there. Camos will try and squeeze Charlesy through as he runs into the back of Ollie in front. Camos is going to have to take that corner nice and tightly there to avoid that. Charlesy getting the move done. Ollie having to defend a little bit there from Charlesy, who looks like he's got good pace after the safety car restart. Up ahead we saw the Lunacy get in the back of Gold Gloves, gets the move done. We saw Shumatara and Gold Gloves swap positions. So Gold Gloves has lost 2 positions now to his teammate and to Lunacy. And Shumatara gets very, very loose on the exit of the corner there. Lunacy will be licking his lips now and trying to get back up into a top position after not the best qualifying for his standards, as Abella has retired in the pit lane. Responsible there for him to not do that in the pits rather than on track. Won't cause a safety car, which is good. But real shame there for AlphaTauri losing their only driver in the field today. Christoph Reck and Camos looks like they're going side by side. Christoph Reck, big boy dive down the inside. You don't usually see moves down there, but Christoph Reck's managed to make it work. Camos trying to get the line sorted through there. He's got Sesto and MBT breathing down his neck as well. But they all get through cleanly, Sesto and MBT. MBT looks quite racy as well there. So it looks like everyone's managed to stick to the train, with the exception of Abella, of course, who did that mistake. Or MBT gets a little bit loose on the curve there. It's the last thing we want to do. We've still got yellows in Sector 1. That will be the retired car of the AlphaTauri of Abella. Just getting out of the way on the track there. So that shouldn't affect the drivers. The leader should be, able to pass that car without any trouble. Speaking of the leader, we'll jump on board. Holland Mandan is half a second behind. Road Flash, another half second behind. Shumatara, he's in the pits. Oh yeah, he had that drive through, that's why. So that makes it interesting why he got past Gold Gloves then, because Gold Gloves has effectively lost out to Lunacy because of that. Shumatara serving the drive through now. But interesting non-teamwork there from Alfa Romeo, making the swap. But then, or if Lunacy smacks that wall, he's done it a few times, really pushing it. Wonder if he's going to pick up some damage if he keeps doing it. The Gold Gloves is going to get a good run. Lunacy might have to defend. He's going to stay to the outside. Gold Gloves not quite close enough to make a move, but Lunacy 2.5 seconds down on Road Flash now. So has Lunacy got any damage? No, he doesn't, not visually. Looks like Lunacy just losing a bit of time in that little scuffle there. But the top 3 have bolted. At the start of the race we saw it was BMAC bolting with Gold Gloves. This time it's BMAC, Hold Up Mandan and Road Flash getting away from the pack, but Lunacy looks like he's trying to claw that back gap a little bit. We'll have to see if Lunacy can close those guys up before they get too far away. You really don't want to be the front of the train around here because of that long straight and DRS. You can really lose out 2-3 positions down the straight if you are at the front without DRS. So Lunacy's going to either want to gap Gold Gloves or get back to DRS with his teammate. Speaking of his teammate, looks like he's dropped a little bit of time, maybe not just a great run through the castle section there. He's right in the bubble of the second, so Road Flash, he's going to have a really good last corner here and really good next lap to stay on the DRS. As Christoph Reck on a charge to the field gets another position down the inside. Christoph Reck is having a bit of a race, a bit of a masterclass here as he's getting back from the back of the grid to the midfield again, making moves where you don't see many people try and make moves. So fantastic racecraft from Christoph Reck, getting himself up into good positions and quite cleanly as well. But looks like Charlesy might get a good run on Christoph Reck. Both of them, or Christoph Reck not using overtake yet, so he's going to let Charlesy go and probably try and get him on the next straight. Slots him right behind straight away. Christoph Reck making the position but then losing it again. We'll have to see if he can make it back as Charlesy goes very wide there. That might be, as Camos is round, we just saw him and Sesto swap positions. But yeah, it's a shame there. MBT also came into the pit, so he might have had damage as well. But Camos going around there, jump back on board with Christoph Reck, who's chasing down Charlesy. He's going to look to the inside. Charlesy will stay right. It's a big squeeze into the wall. He's going to force Charlesy to back out of that. He goes very, very deep and just gets to stop before the wall. Charlesy is going to have to give that one up. Christopher getting that move done finally. He's got a bit of scuffling up here as well, Ollie and Lunacy and Gold Glove. So Gold Glove's managed to get past Lunacy as well there. We missed that one. So Gold Glove's showing good pace. They're now 4.5 seconds behind Rogue Flash. As Lunacy goes very deep and he's in the wall. Oh, he's put it in the fence, which is a real shame for Lunacy. He's going to have to put in another pit stop. He's going to lose down to P10 now. Just outdone himself on the brakes there, probably frustrated to let Gold Glove through, but Lunacy now he's going to have to make another pit stop again. It's going to be fairly hefty damage. You see that left hand side and the right hand side, he's lost both end plates and I think a little bit more on the left. So real shame there for Mercedes driver who was looking at a top 4, top 5 race. So he is absolutely in the fence, and he is not the only one to be in the fence. I think they've all been in the fence pretty much this race. But yeah, Lunacy suffering the consequences of putting it in the fence, as Ollie looks like he's dropped a couple of positions. Unless that was just a bit of a timing glitch there. Christophrek is up into P6, so a mega run there. I wonder if Ollie's just made a bit of a mistake and let Christophrek through. Christophrek now right at the back of Candy Cane, who's having a really good race actually, but he might lose out here. Christophrek is going to look down the inside. He's going to be a nice big squeeze on a braking as well. He's going to get that move done. What does Candy Cane have to fight back? Not much yet. Candy Cane not quite getting the power down enough, but he will get DRS down this second straight. Christophrek gets a good run out of the corner, so he should be safe. But Christophrek on an almighty charge from last place after the safety car came out, and when the safety car came back in, and he's already up to P5. So Christophrek putting on an incredible charge for the field, lining himself up for a driver of the day performance after what was a poor start. Candy Cane doesn't have much to fight in with. We see Lunacy and MBT putting on soft tyres. They'll be pushing for a fastest lap for Pride, if anything. If they get a safety car though between now and the end of the race, they could be ones to watch, but really out of position now, both of them out of the points, which is disappointing for them respectively. Looks like Hottam and Dan and BMAC and Rogue Flash, we haven't mentioned these guys too much up the top. They're 4.5 seconds ahead of Gold Glove. So Gold Glove's had plenty of pace in the first stint, but not quite being able to catch up to these guys. We saw him get past Lunacy before Lunacy put it in the fence, but hasn't been able to claw back the time yet. So Rogue Flash, Hottam and Dan and BMAC are a three-way fight for the lead, as Rogue Flash is putting in personal best sectors, which is what we like to see. BMAC on those older tyres is doing very well to stay in front. Hottam and Dan will be looking for the best opportunity as soon as possible to make a move into P1, but it looks like BMAC has got the pace for now. You see Hottam and Dan's got almost no ERS. Rogue Flash has a bit more. Looks like Rogue Flash is probably in the best position to make a move actually. Closing in the Hottam and Dan. He's not going to get enough straight now. He goes very deep, just gets it stopped, but we might see a move into the second straight, into turn 3 actually, because Hottam and Dan's got barely any ERS. BMAC also has a bit more ERS, so Hottam and Dan looks like he's been pushing the hardest, but we're going to say might see a move in here, but Hottam and Dan have a great exit out of turn 2 and he will stay safe for now. So these three staying put for the time being. BMAC's going to be hoping that his tyres hold out for the end of the race, because he's currently put himself in P1 and it's looking set to stay there unless something drastic happens. But you see Hottam and Dan having a really good sector 1 there and closing in behind. So as I say that, he goes wide at the right-hander, so a bit of a commentator's curse perhaps. That gap's now dropping to about a second. So really important for all three of these guys to stay within DRS to each other. Not so much BMAC, he's going to want to break it, but for Hottam and Dan and Rogue Flash, they're both going to need to stay in the DRS, because as soon as they lose that, they're going to start fighting each other and they're just going to let BMAC coast away. And we haven't seen many penalties pop up either, so we can't really count that as a factor for now. So Hottam and Dan is really going to have to put in a banging couple of corners here to stay in the DRS. Looks like he's doing so. Looks like Rogue Flash is just saving a lot of ERS now, which is really good long term, but he does need to burn some to stay within the DRS here. He might use a bit on the exit here to make sure he does get DRS. The DRS detection point is not for about another 5 seconds. He's right in the 1 second, but Hottam and Dan is a bit close to BMAC, as the BMAC just kissed the wall there. He might have just slightly, but BMAC definitely got the gap to be able to defend. Or not need to defend, he'll be able to stay in front pretty easily. Again, Rogue Flash is closer to Hottam and Dan. He's a lot closer this time. Will we see a move? He's going to late the brakes, he's going to inside outside, he's going to look around the outside, lots of moving there, as he's going to lose the back end slightly, hang on to it just, but look at the overspeed from the Mercedes there, absolutely crazy. Yeah, the FIA did ban party mode, but it looks like Mercedes have managed to get around it, as Rogue Flash has got incredible straight line speed through there. We'll see behind Christophrek and Gold Gloves having a bit of a scuffle too. Christophrek now into P4. from 14th on the grid at the safety car restart 7 laps ago up to P4. It's been an absolutely crazy race. Superb driving from Christoph. Gold Glove's just not having the answer at the moment. Lunacy does set the quickest lap on fresh soft tyres after putting it in the fence a couple of laps ago, but Christoph putting on an absolute masterclass of overtaking around Baku. Not the easiest place to get past people, and he hasn't just done it all in the DRS zones, he's done it in corners you wouldn't usually see overtakes happening. So it's been a fantastic drive from Christoph. Absolutely my drive of the day for now, but there's still 5 laps left. Still plenty can happen, so we can't celebrate totally yet, but he's done an absolutely incredible job to get himself up into a top 4 position. He's got a 5-second gap in front. Those top 3 look very rapid, so I'm not sure if Christoph will be able to catch him, but if he can stay P4, I think he'll count that as a win after that start. We'll jump on board up here though, is that Holloman Dan has started to close on BMAX. I wonder if BMAX tyres are starting to go off a bit. I think Holloman Dan is going to have the pace now to get past him. Look how close he is. He's going to get the move done almost before the DRS zone. He's going to put it into overtake. BMAC does have a bit more overtake than Fenders, but not much. Holloman Dan will open the DRS. Flicks off that ERS as he's not going to have enough to really make a move. Oh, he's going to dive anyway. He's going to go down the inside, and he's collected BMAC a little bit. That's going to let Rogue Flash through. Side by side through there. Holloman Dan forces his way past into the lead, and that's let the Mercedes driver through. BMAC's going to get squeezed on the wall, just loses the rear slightly, but he's going to lose 2 positions now, which is absolutely massive for his race. Being on the older tyres, he really needed the track position. But the race isn't over. Still lots of laps left. BMAC is going to want to get those positions back, but we'll have to see what he can do against the slightly fresher tyres on Rogue Flash and Holloman Dan's car. So Holloman Dan really pushing his way through there. BMAC won't appreciate that at all. As Lunacy's put it in the wall, no he hasn't, he's retired in the pits. It's disappointing there for the Mercedes driver, picking up 0 points this weekend. Real shame there, because he is definitely in the championship fight, at least for the top 5, if not top 3. So Lunacy picking up 0 points for that race after his little calamity, his little date with the wall there in the middle there. We'll jump off board these guys for a sec, give a couple of these guys a bit of screen time. Ollie right at the back of Candy Cane, still holding it in P6, which is good to see. Putting in a good performance so far, and Charlesy right behind as well, looking quite racy, just because of the wall there on the exit, which isn't fantastic, but you're not going to get damage from that, which is good. But Ollie trying to close in on Candy Cane. Candy Cane doing a superb job as he puts it in the wall. So lots of these guys putting it in the fence on the side there. Not ideal for Candy Cane, but he may have avoided damage as Ollie goes very wide there. That might be a warning for track extending, and Charlesy's right at the tail. Ollie's got front wing damage, so that's big. That's why Candy Cane's managed to get away so quickly, and Charlesy is going to be right in the back and will probably make a move into turn 1. You can see the overspeed he's got in the toe and with the DRS. Ollie's going to move to the inside and squeeze him again, but he's got nothing for Charlesy. He's going to get it done. We get a shocking camera angle there, so I have to jump back on board. Charlesy's going to get the move done on the outside. Brakes himself slightly. Oh, and he hits the wall on the exit there. That might be damage as well. That's going to let Ollie through, but we have to leave these guys because Rogue Flash and Holloman Dan are swapping positions for the lead. Rogue Flash now to P1, carrying the Mercedes flag after his teammate Lunacy's had a disappointing end to the race. But Rogue Flash getting into first position on the DRS straight, and getting it done before turn 3. So fantastic racing there from Rogue Flash, but Holloman Dan is going to have plenty of pace to fight back with. BMAC still definitely in this fight. We have to leave that battle down there because the race lead is still up for grabs, which is fantastic. We'd like to see this. As Rogue Flash, Holloman Dan trying to negotiate the castle section. BMAC gets very, very close to the right hand side there, but he's going to get it held. He's going to stay there, which is good. BMAC getting a bit loose on the exit there. That's going to allow Holloman Dan to scamper away a little bit. BMAC really needs to stay on DRS. He needs a banger last 2 corners here to make sure he gets DRS. He's not going to push it too much. He's going to get the exit on the outside, but he's 1.1 seconds, so this could be a bit of do or die for BMAC. If he doesn't get DRS, then those front 2 guys may run away. He needs to put it into overtake now to make sure he gets DRS, but I think he's going to be too far away. So Holloman Dan and Rogue Flash. Holloman Dan got lots of speed at the moment. BMAC will not get DRS. We'll have to jump over with Holloman Dan, who's going to be hunting down Rogue Flash now. Opens the DRS, got 0 ERS to play with. Rogue's also got almost 0. BMAC's also almost got 0. So these guys are really using everything they can. Holloman Dan, they're not going to make positions, but But another factor, this top 3 fight is not by itself. We just saw the Red Bull there coming through the picture. Christoph Reck has closed the gap to 2.5 seconds. That gap was up at 4.5, 5 seconds. But Christoph Reck putting on an absolute masterclass with Baku race for now. He's up in a P4, so Christoph Reck showing plenty of rapid pace, which is what we like to see after being 14th and last after safety car restart. He's managed to claw his way through the field, and he's now going to get involved in the fight up here. And I wouldn't be surprised if he makes himself known to these guys in the next lap or two. We've got 3 laps left, 2.5 laps left, and the gap's only 2 seconds now. So Christoph Reck showing plenty of rapid pace. BMAC's starting to really struggle. The gap's over a second still. He's going to be vulnerable to Christoph Reck if BMAC cannot get the DRS off Holdup Mandan in front. So this race is well and truly on. Christoph Reck is going to want to get onto that podium. That would be incredibly rewarding after that start that he had. You see him in the background there. He's starting to get in the mirrors of the McLaren driver. We'll jump on board with Christoph Reck as he's going to close in really rapidly through these corners as he has been for the last multiple laps. Nice and late at the brakes. Does that really, really well. You see BMAC on the last lap took that a lot more cautious as the gaps up the front are separating as well. Holdup Mandan is going to have to stay within a second. We'll jump aboard Holdup Mandan to see if he gets DRS. Looks like he's just going to be in the DRS, which is really, really important. The 2 behind won't be yet, but we should see Christoph Reck in the DRS next lap. None of them will have DRS. We'll jump aboard with Christoph Reck again, who's right on the back of BMAC now. BMAC has to notice him in his mirrors. Speaking of though, BMAC is starting to close back to Holdup Mandan, using a bit of ERS there. Holdup Mandan not using much. You can see him, he's lost 1.3 seconds. He's lost about 3 seconds, 3 tenths to Rogue Flash down that straight, so trying to save a little bit of battery. But yeah, I think you really have to use it now to stay on the back of him. But Christoph Reck now almost within a second of BMAC. BMAC right at the tail of Holdup Mandan as well. So BMAC is not done. Those 16 lap on mediums still have a bit of life in them, as Banana is having a whinge at me in the chat. Go get ready for your race, mate. Go get sweaty. As Global Tier 1 is straight after this, so make sure you tune into that. But we can't focus with that yet because Global Tier 2 is not finished by any means. Christoph Reck still on the back of BMAC trying to hunt down Holdup Mandan. We'll jump aboard with BMAC actually, as he's got a lot of pace in Holdup Mandan for now. Holdup Mandan's struggling this lap. Looks like he's starting to feel the pressure from behind. You probably sees the Red Bull as well threatening or BMAC gets a little bit slidey through there, and that's going to... Actually, Christoph Reck's made a mistake. I think he's lost out a bit of time. I don't think he's got damage, but BMAC and Holdup Mandan not getting the best runs through there. So BMAC is going to be right on the border of a second. We'll have to see if he gets DRS. He's really, really close, but I don't know if he's going to be close enough actually. Holdup Mandan is going to be just clear, I think. Speaking of clear, Rogue Flash is definitely clear. He's 1.5 seconds ahead, so Rogue Flash is safe for DRS for now. It'll be all down to whether Rogue Flash can hold on and not make mistakes in this final lap, as BMAC is going to be within the DRS. So we're about to see BMAC make a move here actually. Look at the overspeed. Holdup Mandan has no ERS to play with, neither does BMAC, so it's all down to the toe of the DRS. BMAC is going to go round the outside of turn 1. We'll go off board, get a good picture here. He's going to go for a switchback down the inside, almost runs to the back, but that's what you're meant to do. Get the run out of the corner. BMAC doesn't quite get it done there, but he's going to have DRS for the next straight, and it could be this last chance here to get it done. Holdup Mandan and BMAC. Holdup Mandan got a really good exit out of that corner there actually, so he's going to be safe. Christoph Reck right behind as well, but not close enough to make a move. BMAC is going to have to settle for P3 for now. Rogue Flash is 2.6 seconds up the road, so he's in prime position to win this race. As Ollie and Candy Cane having a scuffle as well. Ollie get the move done down the inside, goes incredibly deep, and he's missed the corner. So Ollie has absolutely overshot the corner. He's going to lose out to Charlesy as well. Can he get back out in front of Sesto? He's got to get that car turned around really, really quickly before he gets disqualified. Sesto's going to get by, but we have to leave that for now, as Christoph Reck and BMAC and Holdup Mandan all converging in the same piece of track. Holdup Mandan is starting to struggle. You can see the gap's already up to 3.1 seconds ahead. So Holdup Mandan is the roadblock at the moment. BMAC getting caught up again, and Christoph Reck's got the run out of here. Can he go around the outside? He's in the wall. They're both in the fence. BMAC's gone round. He's done a perfect 360 as Christoph Reck tried to throw his nose in a place where it would not go. BMAC put in, trying to follow the racing line, has suffered the consequences of that incident and is now fallen off the pack. Gold Gloves might challenge BMAC now for the run up to the line, but Christoph Reck and BMAC, it all falling over a bit there. Christoph Reck will get into P3, but it was not clean. Him and BMAC having to come together. BMAC doing a perfect 360. But it will be Rogue Flash coming across the line. He will win the race, get in the position of those top 2 guys he was fighting with, and crossing the line in P1. So fantastic race from Rogue Flash, flying Mercedes banner. Hold Up Man Dan, after a brave strategy call at the start of the race, come across the line in P2. Christopher at P3 after an incredible drive through the field after the safety car. BMAC will drop to P4. He won't be happy because he probably deserved that podium there. But yeah, just got an incident with Christopher there. Gold Gloves in P5 as well, showed good pace at the start. Has front wing damage actually, so that might have hindered him slightly. Charlesy and Candy Cane P6 first, and then Charlesy right behind P7. So great result there for Racing Point. Sesto and P8, Ollie P9. Ashima Tata and Camos swapping positions, right line up the drag race, and Ashima Tata picks up the final point, and Camos will have to settle for no points. MBT will come across the line in P12, and the final position, as we see, Lunacy, Abella Danger, Strauss and Bobby Mortimer all DNFing from the race. But that has been the Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It was an absolute wild one. A couple of safety cars, lots of great driving. Christopher pulling off some fantastic moves to get himself up into the podium after P14, after the safety car restart on lap 14. So fantastic drive there from Christopher. I think he will probably be my driver of the day. The game's given it to Charlesy for making up the most positions. So great drive there from the McLaren driver. But it will be Rogue Flash who takes P1 for Mercedes. A superb drive there. Yeah, absolutely deserves that win after showing fantastic pace at the race at the time when it mattered at the end. So getting clear of that traffic and managing to bolt ahead of the Haas and the Red Bull and the McLaren behind. So great result there for Mercedes. Moons will be disappointed. He was not up in that fight as well, because he could have finished in the top 4, top 5 as well. But his teammate doing the work for him and getting the job done. And we have the Haas driver of Hold Up Man Dan in P2 as well, started P2, so it's been a good race for Hold Up Man Dan. Good points there, and Christopher from the back of the grid on the safety car restart will take P3, BMAC P4. Gold Glass, Candy Cane, Charlesy, Sesto, Ollie and Ashim Matata will be your points positions. We'll scroll down to the bottom to make the boss happy, to make sure we get all the positions. Lunacy getting the fastest lap, but not finishing the race, so he will not be given the point, as no one else will get the point either. But that has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That was an absolute banging race. Really enjoyed watching that one. Absolutely wild. These guys put on a show, as always, and really looking forward to seeing these guys in action in the coming weeks. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. That was a fun one. I believe next week we're at Canada, so that will be another interesting race there. We should see plenty of corner cut and penalties, which could change up the grid a lot, but we'll have to wait and see what these drivers can do. But that has been, yeah, Global Tier 2 on board HOD. I really enjoyed commentating this one. We'll see if I'm back next week. We'll see, yeah, if we can get a stream up. Of course, if anyone's listening and does want to do some comms, then let us know. But I'm happy to keep doing this tier as I'm available, because I've really enjoyed it, and these guys absolutely deserve a banging stream on the Race Spec channel. But that will do us. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Make sure you tune in for a couple of other tiers starting now, including Global Tier 1, as well as a couple of the Elite tiers as well. And to see these guys' previous races, you can check out the Race Spec YouTube channel as well. But that will do us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good night.